push us to our limit without, killing us.
These kids don't realize how amazing they are. It should be a really good fight this year to see who's going to end up on that team.
Such a hard work. I'm not going to say it's easy.
We know that this is her one shot.
Sam? Seriously, what time are we finished?
Take out your homework.
Thank you.
I'm going to do it.
I don't know.
Hi.
I'm always trying to plan out my days and try and cram and fit as much as I can into it. Actually, I don't even think I need anything.
She excels in school. She excels in gymnastics. She's very social.
I need to check that. Congratulations.
I don't know how she did that.
I've been doing that schedule since, 4th grade. I really don't know another lifestyle.
Her dad and I sometimes say, is it worth it? But she does think it's worth it.
I usually wake up around 6 o'clock and try and be out the door by like 6:40-ish. And school starts at 7:30, and I leave school every day at 12:30. And then I'm off straight to gym. And I can be late to my first period.
She walks up and down the hall with a backpack on her back like everybody else. She scurries into class late.
We have to go. Bye.
She giggles with her friends. You would just look at her and not really think that she was a world-class elite athlete at this high school.
16-year-old Samantha Peszek, a member of the U.S. national gymnastics team, is strictly old school. She has made the increasingly rare choice of being a full-time student at a mainstream brick-and-mortar high school in an era focused on maximizing through specialization.
I would go to the camps and they'd be like, yeah, I'm homeschooling. And so for a while I thought that I could only, do this and be as good as I am doing homeschool.
I feel like you have to keep up. And so it's just kind of the natural progression that you say, okay, well, school's going to have to be the first thing to go. It's just more that sense of are we falling behind because she's going to school.
We did bring up homeschooling maybe a couple years ago.
I thought that we did that in class yesterday.
She said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to go to school.
Guys, if we leave this on the pages of the book, we're missing it.
I had a couple comments from teachers and administrators that said, now when will she quit school for the Olympics? And I said, I don't think she's going to quit school for the Olympics. She's going to try to do both.
Pass your quiz paper and your homework to a neighbor.
Sat in meetings where they told all the coaches that, if you wanted to do the elite program, you had to homeschool, you had to do 2-a-day practices. And in those same meetings, they would say, the only person who's not doing that is Samantha Peszek.
All throughout the years of my coaching career, you'd hear of gymnasts giving up school to train gymnastics, and I think that's not normal.
Chicken salad? Yeah, grilled chicken salad.
She loves going to football games and baseball games and hanging out with her friends.
I know.
And it's amazing how she fits it all in. She really does.
That's Allie, that's Max. You know them. You know her.
The teachers have never reported a moment that Samantha has said, I'm not keeping up, this is too overwhelming.
Sam, why don't you read?
She has never shared a moment of not being Superwoman and I can't balance all this.
Many top echelon gymnasts create a schedule that grants them the flexibility for 2 full workouts each day. For Samantha Peszek, her gymnastics world doesn't even begin until afternoon.
There's harder times than others. Sometimes Sam will go to school all day. She'll have practice at night. She gets home. She has homework. And, it's 11:30, and we're saying, Sam, you got to go to bed. And she goes, I'm not done with my homework.
Good job. Good job.
My biggest fear for her, not so much has been that she'd get hurt, it's more been that she'd get sick, because when you're trying to maintain that many hours a day and not getting enough sleep, then, you know, that's when you start seeing signs of fatigue, and they get sick. They just do.
Nice. Tight, tight, tight.
People might look at my life and say, wow, she sacrifices so much. But I really see it as such an opportunity, because you might think, like, I might have to miss a high school football game or something, but at the same time I'm traveling to Italy and Germany and Mexico and all these cool places to compete for my country.
Very nice.
Sam's mom, Luann, and dad, Ed, met while they were students at the University of Illinois and settled with their two daughters in an Indianapolis suburb.
Ed and I were both athletes in college, and so I'm sure that helped. And Sam's been around it her whole life. We had her in it when she was like 2 years old, and she just loved it. It was like a big playground for her.
Non-stop energy. Even as a 3-year-old, she was doing things over and over and over again.
When my mom used to coach me when I was little, she said she used to be embarrassed because I used to push little kids and be like, I'm first. And I would get invitations for birthday parties and sleepovers all the time, and I was like, no, I have practice. I can't go. My parents are like, are you sure? You know, it's just one practice. No, I have to go to the gym. I have to practice.
At the 96 Olympic Games, right after, there was a tour, and the tour came to Indianapolis. So Samantha was selected as one of the preschoolers that would participate in the tour. And so she was running around the mat, and Bella Curley snatched her up and put her on his shoulder and said, oh, look at this little one. She might be champion one day. You don't know.
The 1996 U.S. women's gymnastics team, nicknamed the Magnificent Seven, won the team gold medal at the Atlanta Olympics. Luann Peszek served as the press officer at those same games and has been the publications director for USA Gymnastics for over 20 years.
We'd like to put a picture of her in the magazine. I used to come home and tell Sam stories about how Carrie Strug signed these autographs and it was so nice, and how Amanda Borden is so sweet, and how, you know, tell her little stories.
She got to see that these people that are competing at those levels are regular people, regular kids. And I think that that's something that she took away from that.
We had this videotape of the Magnificent Seven after the games had concluded, and Samantha watched that videotape more times than I can even count. They'd go, oh, Mom, can we put in the tape? Can we put in the tape?
I wore the movie out. I would always try to imitate the routines, and I just wanted to be just like them. They were just so cool, and they were my heroes, and that's really my inspiration. It all started from then.
Okay, so we'll have to get that for Friday.
I think it's no different than any other family that perhaps are doctors or that are attorneys, that, you know, their children are exposed to what their work environment is. Sam has grown up in that environment.
I would take her to TOPS national testing, and there's a little bit of an advantage, maybe, that the national team coaches knew that she was that Peszek girl.
Despite the tunnel vision exhibited by both mom and daughter in their simultaneous roles as colleagues and family, the challenges to keep those roles separate are evident.
Sam wasn't even born when I had this job. So now that she's at this level, which we never planned or had prepared for, it is a little challenging, but I try to put on the right hat depending on what role I'm in. Obviously, when she has a bad day, I feel it too. And when she's happy, I'm very happy. You know, I think it's hard to take that part out of it.
One time, we were at an interview, and so she would come on and be like, hi, this is Luann Peszek, managing the press conference, and then they would say our names, and this reporter comes on, this question's for Samantha. Is the Luann on the phone? Is that your mom?
Obviously, Peszek is not a very common name, so when they put two and two together, I think that, you know, people rightfully say, how did Sam, get to where she's at?